Welcome to Now You Know BC. I'm Bob Kronbauer, also known as BC Bob. And on this show, I introduce you to interesting people, places to go, things to see, things that have happened in the past. You will hear our collective stories. This week, we're talking about food history in BC, from Thundercrunch chips to Bannock to the Woodward's food floor and beyond. And at this time in the intro, I usually say, let's dig in. But this week, I really mean it in a literal sense. Let's dig in. Did you know that we have one Yugoslavian immigrant to thank for the best potato chip we ever ate in the 90s? It's true. Marcus Nally moved to Tacoma, Washington in the 1920s and started experimenting making chips in his kitchen at home as a side project while he worked his day job at a local hotel. Eventually, he started a company called Nally's Foods, which became massive. At its height, they made 1,300 different products. The best ones were chips. And in 1976, Nally's launched in Canada. And in the early 90s, the Canadian arm of this company invented Thundercrunch potato chips, which they called revolutionary and the crunchiest chip you've ever eaten. They were the first brand of kettle-cooked chips to be mass marketed here, and Nally's Canada ended up making 9 different flavors of them. My director's favorite one was chicken wings, but green onion and garlic Thundercrunch, ever remember those? I don't, but I do remember loving this brand as a kid. They laid the groundwork for all of the other kettle chips that followed. They stopped making Thundercrunch in the early 2000s, but the memory of them lives on in the many different brands of kettle chips you can buy these days. I've been trying to get a factory tour, and just today I learned, this is not a paid endorsement, this is not a product placement, but eventually I'm gonna take you into the Hard Bite chip facility in Surrey, and we're gonna do a tour. Another thing from the past that's being kept alive is Brownies chicken. In the early 80s, there were more Brownies locations here than there were KFCs. 66 locations all across British Columbia. They dominated the fried chicken market. And if you lived in a small town, you probably remember them. Their heyday lasted until the 90s, but ultimately, rising interest rates and other factors contributed to the demise of the chain and every single one of its locations. Many of the franchises were family-run though, and one of the original franchisee families has picked up Brownies and brought it back to life. Gary Acut saw an opportunity about 10 years ago and secured the rights to the brand that was basically dead at the time. They've now got locations in Maple Ridge, Mission, and Abbotsford, and they're only run by employees and of course the family itself. I worked a shift here to show you exactly what it's like behind the scenes. Arav, roll the tape of me working at Brownies. There were 66 locations, and their mascot, who you might not remember, was a bear. This guy. The 2 restaurants are in Mission and Maple Ridge. The brand is owned and operated by the Acut family. Gary, Bryson, Christina, and Mike. They run this place. They've got me working. All of their chicken is sourced from a farm that's just over the hill in Abbotsford. It's all halal, raised without antibiotics, and it's strange to say it, but it's pretty much farm to table. And I'm gonna fry some. We're cooking a half a bucket chicken, and it goes in for 14 minutes. Pro here.